Some people stand in the darkness, afraid to step into the light. I'ma hold you down and hold you tight. Okay, David Hasselhoff, I am not in terms of singing skills. That is the worst impression I could do of the Baywatch theme song. Hasselhoff, singing ability? No, I'm not. Handsome? Looks? Absolutely. Charisma? Without a doubt. What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Brett Paradise, coming at you with another episode of Trouble in Paradise. Weather's getting warmer. We are outside of Top Golfing Complex right here in Bridgeville, just outside of Pittsburgh. It's a place where you can drive, you can putt, you can slice, you can pick out your iron, your wood, wood. You can pick out all your clubs, everything, all kinds of balls, Callaway, whatever, zing, zang, zoom, and beep, blap, blarb, all that good stuff. Top Golf in Bridgeville, great place to come. Now, I got Sasha Fierce holding the camera right now, again, doing a great job. Kudos to you, darling. Fantastic. Now, one of the things that her and I have been discussing is the art, or the lost art, of a finishing maneuver in wrestling. A finishing maneuver in wrestling. Now, when you talk about being in the ring, a finisher, is just supposed to be just that. It's supposed to end a match. It is supposed to be, in psychology terms, in professional wrestling, it is supposed to be the end of a match. It's supposed to be, no doubt, it's over. WWE and Vince Landia themselves, they actually produced, a couple years ago, a DVD, a 3-disc set, of the top 50 greatest finishing maneuvers in wrestling history. And in a lot of cases, they're absolutely right when you talk about that. But part of the problem, and in the past 20 years, at least as long as I can remember, as far as the birth of Brett Paradise, for 20 years now in this business, you sit there and you talk about what a finishing maneuver is, and it's supposed to be the end in a match. Now, you think of something like, right off the top of your head, you think the Stone Cold Stunner, okay? You think the Rock Bottom, okay? You think HBK Super Kick. But here's the problem, and it's happened since the crowning achievement, when it really sparked off that it was the beginning of the end of the art of the finishing maneuver in terms of psychology in wrestling, was WrestleMania X7. The greatest WrestleMania, the greatest pay-per-view of all time. Everybody agrees it was the most complete pay-per-view of all time. But part of the problem was The Rock. In 2001, it was The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Because what they did, and it was a great match, don't get me wrong. Yes, it kind of got ruined at the end when Austin turned heel and shook hands with McMahon, sold his soul to the devil. But part of the problem was they had a stunner, a kick out, a rock bottom, people's elbow, kick out. Okay? Now, you look at things, and you also look at things like, so you look at that, and it went on and on and on during that match. And ever since then, since the WrestleMania X7, 2001, March 29, 2001, right there, ever since that moment, every great match has multiple time finishers over and over and over. Oh, it took 4 F5s to have Seth Rollins pinned. It took 4 Claymore kicks to have Brock Lesnar pinned. I'm way fast forwarding on that part. But that's part of the problem. And then you look at a team like, you look at like a tag team like the Young Bucks. They super kick 5-year-olds for fun. Okay? That's supposed to be a finisher. HBK, how many times did Shawn Michaels super kick somebody? Super kick Triple H in their many matches, 2004 Royal Rumble, etc., etc. How many times have you watched a match where the finishing maneuver, you didn't get that kind of thing in the 80s, okay? You didn't get Ravishing Rick Rude with the Rude Awakening. You got hit by the Rude Awakening, the match was over. He leaned back on you, blew his kiss, and that was it. That was it. That was over. Even as hokey as the leg drop, the big boot and the leg drop. 1, 2, 3, Hogan, it's over. That was it. That was the end of the match. Okay? And it started at the 2001 Royal Rumble. It carried on into things like JBL. JBL in 2004 when he had his 1-year title run. He would hit everybody with the clothesline from hell. Now, yes, it was visually impressive. Yes, it was stiff. But people were kicking out of that, too. People were kicking out of that at matches. Eddie Guerrero himself, God rest his soul, he kicked out of it a couple of times when he had that bull rope match. You know, how many times did John Cena, even after he became Super Cena, through 2007 through 2011, when he destroyed the Nexus and the Core and all those other groups, how many times did people kick out of the FU or the STF? This is part of the problem. When you go to watch matches that are supposed to be great matches, yes, the psychology is there because it's lock up, it's chain. Then you get into the brawling, okay? Then you go to the outside. You work a little bit on the outside. You hit somebody with something. You go back in. You start working a little bit more, working in the corners, all right? You know, hip toss, you know, arm drags, all that other stuff. And to get into the real meat and potatoes of a match, but then you build to the crescendo where the finish is supposed to end and people are kicking out of finishers. That's just it. They're called a finisher for a reason. It's supposed to end the match. And we don't have that. We don't have that anymore. We have finisher kick out, back, forth, finisher kick out. And it's considered a great match. It's almost like a rest spot. It's almost like a rest spot. I remember October 23rd, 2019, Peterson Event Center. Jon Moxley does a suicide dive to the outside. Dustin Rhodes gets back up, gets back in the ring. That's supposed to finish him. That's supposed to be a suicide dive, and you just sell for about 20 seconds and get back in the ring. It's not right. It's a growing concern if you think about the psychology of a match. Guys, a finisher is supposed to be a finishing maneuver because it's supposed to do just that. And when it doesn't do that, then the psychology is lost, and that's how the fans' interest lose. So, guys, use the finishes the right way. Like, I don't know, like Bret Paradise's finisher. Oh, you mean the pimps up, hose down? Where you grab a guy like the Dragon Sleeper, face is right here, knees are bent, and you say, pimps up, hose down. Drop an elbow, hook the leg, 1, 2, 3. Game over. That's how that works. All right, everybody. I got to get out of here because I got to go get a little more tan since the weather's getting nice and warm here. We're going to end things on a positive note here. So let's get this done here. COVID-19, you're going down just like I always say. Like, share, and subscribe. It's Trouble in Paradise. Don't stand in the darkness. Just enjoy the light. I'm out.